was just a few months ago that editor Wayne Munro and sales director Hayden Woolston travelled to Melbourne for the launch of the Kenworth T410 and T360. Now we're here, with the first T410 to hit the New Zealand roads, up in the not-so-sunny Northland with Moganui Transport. It's a transformer truck, which today is in its tanker configuration, the setup that sees it regularly hauling milk from a transfer station in Kaitaia down to the Kauri Fonterra plant just north of Whangarei. It's a transformer truck as it's set up with twist locks underneath the stainless steel tank, so when it's not cutting milk, it can be reconfigured into a logger. Trevor gets his first opportunity to put this newcomer to the test at the transfer station, where the tankers that collect milk from farms around upper Northland transfer their loads. The climb up into the T410 8x4 cab is easy, with 3 well-placed steps between the 2 steer axles and grab handles front and back of the door opening. However, because of its height, the front one only comes into play when you're up on the first step. But Trevor finds that the door bin provides a good handhold from the ground for the first step up anyway. Under the bonnet is the 510 horsepower PACCAR MX engine, developing 1,844 pound-foot of torque at 1,000 RPM, coupled up to an Eaton Fuller 18-speed overdrive transmission. Even though we're at just on 46 tonnes all up, our run through Kaitaia is effortless, as the MX provides good, lively performance and the 18 speed shifts smoothly with a nice light clutch. With the T410's shortened bonnet, it seems almost non-existent, disappearing down the front and giving the driver a nice uninterrupted view. It's complemented by the bug deflector on the front of the bonnet, which gives it a great reference point for positioning the truck through the tight urban streets. Once out of town, Trevor awaits his first test of the ride quality in the T410, as this stretch of road from Kaitaia to the Mamakus isn't one of the smoothest roads in New Zealand. The ride is impressive. Journalists Dave McLeod and Trevor are impressed with how well the T410 smooths out the bumps compared to some of the similar trucks we've tested recently. Inside the cab, it's a quiet and comfortable workplace with one of the best driver seats, an Isri air suspension seat, finished in burgundy to match the rest of the cab's interior's soft trim. It's easy to set up for a comfortable ride with plenty of adjustment in the seat and steering column to suit any driver. The T410 cab is a wider version of the traditional Kenworth cab, following on from the T610 model. This gives a great feeling of spaciousness. The dash layout is very user-friendly, with tachograph, speedo, temperature, oil pressure, fuel and air pressure gauges, along with a PACCAR digital information centre in front of the driver. Engine oil and diff temp gauges are located in the centre console, along with suspension loading gauges and various switches, including those for the climate control and the stereo. Also, for driver convenience, there are several functions on the steering wheel. Stereo controls on the left and cruise control on the right. Column controls operate the engine brake stages on the right and indicators and wipers on the left. Foot pedals are well positioned with both brake and throttle set up at the same height, making movement between the two easy, with no need to lift your foot when going from one to the other. There's also plenty of room around the clutch pedal to stretch out your left leg. The mirrors are great, mounted on good solid arms and set in chrome aerodynamic covers, with the usual flat upper mirror and lower convex mirror. Positioning on the road is easy, and the steering gives a good positive feel, not too light. These roads certainly aren't the widest, and there is no hard shoulder, so there's no room for error as we get toward the Mamakus. The 4-axle trailer tracks well, and there's no surge from the liquid load. But in saying that, Trevor finds himself driving conservatively for the wet conditions. The Mamaku Hill provides a real good test for any truck, so Trevor is looking forward to putting the T410 over it, and it's good to have an 18-speed manual for a change, rather than the usual AMTs we have been driving. As we hit the hill, we steadily drop down gears, finally settling in 5th high for the major portion of the climb, at around 40 kilometres an hour. Not only do you have to contend with the steepness of the climb, but also the numerous, very tight corners with zero visibility around them and plenty of traffic, so caution is required. The MX pulls nicely up the hill and allows us to drop and recover revs easily as we slow for some of the tighter corners, then accelerate out of them. It's not until we encounter a steeper stretch up near the top that Trevor has to consider dropping another gear, and he gets caught out a bit by not being familiar with the road. Throughout the descent, Trevor gradually decreases the retardation and only needs the occasional touch on the service brakes for a couple of the extra tight corners. It's a very well controlled descent, and we're soon running out of the hill down towards Mamaku village, where Trevor has to give the T410 back to its regular driver Bruce. This new Kenworth is positioned in the marketplace as a lower spec truck, accordingly with a lower price tag, but it certainly doesn't present as one. Trevor finds it a comfortable and easy truck to drive, and while it may not have the 600 plus horsepower, it certainly isn't lacking on a very testing hill loaded at 46 tons.